Toby Perkins.
Well, thank you very much, Sir George. A great pleasure to serve under your chairmanship. I'd like to start by congratulating my honourable friend from Neath for securing this debate and for the way she introduced it, because I know it is an issue that is felt very strongly right across the country, and I'm sure many people will have appreciated what she said today. I'm also very pleased to be here to speak today on behalf of the dozens of constituents who've contacted me on the issue. In fact, the latest count, 286 people from Chesterfield have signed the petition, and there is no doubting that there is very strong opinion on this issue. We are, as it's well often said, a nation of animal lovers, and I receive more emails and letters regarding animal welfare than almost any other issue. And my inbox is full of people who are concerned about badgers, about bats, about birds, about butterflies, about improving welfare standards in food production, about protecting animals all across the world from poaching or from the destruction of their habitats. But even stronger than our passion for animals is our love of our pets. Our pets, particularly our dogs and cats, are very much a part of the family. We love them and we protect them like a family member. And that's why people, I think, feel so passionately about this legislation, about its unfairness, but also about its ineffectiveness. And why over 115,000 people had signed the e-petition that generated this debate today. I have the great privilege and honour of sharing our house with the family cat Basil, a tiny bundle of energy who many colleagues of mine may have seen appearing on Zoom calls over the last couple of years. And also the family dog, Laurie, who is very old and increasingly smelly, but very much adored by the family nonetheless. And we would all be devastated if anything happened to them, as of course people across the country feel. But it's a particular agony, I think, if our animals are attacked and dogs that get out of control have very serious consequences on the feeling for the whole family when other dogs are attacked, and obviously tragically in cases when children and other people have been attacked. Dangerous dogs are a menace. They're something that absolutely must be clamped down upon. The debate today is not about whether action needs to be taken against dangerous dogs, but about whether the action we are currently taking is the right one. We all have pets that we are very happy to, yeah.
I thank my honourable friend for giving way. With regard to the effectiveness of the legislation, I'd just like to point out to him that in the 5 months up to February of this year, there were 69 dog attacks in Gwent police area, and that's a relatively small area. And that can be extrapolated right across the country. And nothing highlights more than that, the ineffectiveness of the legislation as it stands.
Well, I agree with him entirely, and I think we've heard from other honourable members about the importance of recognising that we need legislation that targets dangerous dogs, that targets dangerous dog owners. And when 92% of all attacks are taken place by dogs not covered by the legislation, it is clearly ineffective, as his experience in Gwent has demonstrated. Now, saying, Sir George, we all have pets that we love, or pets that have died who we still miss. And I'm sure everybody understands the distress and extreme upset it causes dog owners who have their pets confiscated and euthanised simply because of their breed or type. Animals that may be well trained and have never harmed anyone. I met with one of my constituents, Annie Littlewood, recently to discuss her dog, Frank, who sadly died recently. Annie had always suspected that Frank might be a pit bull type breed and had lived in fear that he would be confiscated and put down. I have to say that Frank was quite a local celebrity in the Brookside area of Chesterfield. He was a gentle soul. He was loved by everyone who met him. When he was out on walks, people across the community went up to speak to him and to give him a stroke. He was always well behaved. He'd never harmed a person or any other animal, but under the current legislation, he could have been deemed dangerous and euthanised. And clearly that is the reason that so many people have been signing this petition. Now, the Dangerous Dogs Act has often been held up as an example of poor quality legislation that was created in haste and without proper scrutiny or consultation. And whilst, of course, no one wants to see anyone be a victim of a dog attack, we need to ensure that laws that address that are effective and be certain about what they are achieving. And as it's clear, the current legislation is not reducing the dog attacks or improving public safety, then it clearly is not fit for purpose. And so I hope that the government will, when the Minister responds today, indicate a little more open-mindedness to addressing this law and recognising that a wide variety of organisations with real passion in this area believe that the law is currently failing to improve public safety. The RSPCA, the British Veterinary Association, the Kennel Club, many other animal welfare groups all seem to agree that a review is urgently needed and the current law is not working. So I hope the government will listen to these groups. Evidence from the RSPCA suggests that the 4 breeds selected in the legislation, selected 30 years ago, are no more prone to aggression or pose any more significant a risk than many, many other types of dog. And the Honourable Lady from Southend West spoke about the importance of ensuring that there was responsibility for dog owners after dog-on-dog attacks. I think she made an important point about some of the other aspects in the way that this legislation needs to be reviewed. I know that is something that's felt particularly passionately by guide dogs for the blind, because guide dogs that are bred are particularly likely that they're bred and trained to be gentle for obvious reasons. It's incredibly important. And when they come under attack, they're very ill-equipped to defend themselves. It massively impacts on their ability to do their jobs. They are working dogs. And it's terrifying for the blind person who is accompanying them to see these kind of attacks. And so dog-on-dog attacks should be something that are capable of being prosecuted in the way that the Honourable Lady spoke about. Now, when it comes to the creation or amendment of laws, it's vital that we look, as my honourable friend from Ellesmere Port said, at the evidence and listen to the experts. And I know that listening to experts isn't always something that the government has chosen to do, but I think it is our responsibility as legislators and representatives to make sure that that laws are evidence-based. And I think the government should see this as an opportunity to improve public safety by creating a system that focuses on the aggressive behaviour of dogs, focuses on owners who either failed to control their dog or deliberately tried to make their dogs more aggressive, rather than this very blunt instrument in terms of the way the legislation is currently envisaged. Responsible dog owners, like my constituent Annie, who've made sure their dog is well trained, balanced and passive, shouldn't have to live in fear that their much-loved family pet could be destroyed because an inspector with a tape measure has determined that they're an illegal type. So let's listen to our constituents, let's listen to the experts, and let's work together to create an ethical system that genuinely improves public safety and doesn't needlessly destroy safe, well-behaved pets.